get the view of Rob Harris, global sports correspondent for the Associated Press. Rob, great to have you back on World Sport. We'll get to Ronaldo's role and Solskjaer's future in a moment. But for sheer drama, that was a classic night of European football action at Old Trafford, wasn't it?
Absolutely. It's just what we want from the group stage, isn't it? We can think of it being quite routine at times for the so-called elite but even this season with Barcelona and Real Madrid struggles, all their setbacks. And it looked like being another night of misery, didn't it, for United last night? Defence being a mess, conceding from a set piece, showing those lingering frailties, and the groans from Old Trafford, they were really marked, weren't they? And but you could sense it really, and it's something that often Solskjaer refers to, and yet again he did last night, saying it's in the DNA of United to come back, and he often does tap into that nostalgia from his own playing career to try to maybe mask some of the issues around, and what better way to lift the mood than a stirring comeback. And obviously Rashford getting a goal on his first start as well, and Ronaldo really producing the moments he craves, being the centre of attention, but also delivering for the team as well. That real relentlessness for the winner paying off and producing one of those great European nights at Old Trafford.
Yeah, so many echoes of the Fergie era with Ronaldo and Solskjaer at the club. That successive Champions League games where Cristiano Ronaldo has produced a late winner. But is he doing that because of the way United play, Rob, or despite it?
Well, there are so many questions about Ronaldo's role in the team at 36 years old, brought in as a big name signing that really did galvanise the fans at the start of the season when there were so many issues around the club. But does his lesser mobility these days, does it impede those players behind him? Does it actually thwart the attacking verve of the team? But if they can get the ball to him in the right place at the right moment, and he shows that drive to be there to receive it, then, well, United will always seem to find a way of coming back. But they can't be relying on these late comebacks all the time. United need to be sort of focusing on actually trying to deliver success, and not only to progress in the Champions League, but given all the spending, to actually be trying to win it for the first time since 2008. And with Ronaldo in the team, they do have a focal point in the attack to try to help those moves. But there are so many issues sort of further back still that you actually question whether or not they're ready yet as a team.
Yeah, and it comes back to the manager, doesn't it? Is that a win that vindicates Solskjaer, or does it merely paper over the cracks?
Well, I think as we're looking at what we saw last night, that sometimes United can be a group of players, perhaps, rather than the collective. Just look at what Atalanta have done on Gasperini, qualifying for the Champions League for the first time, getting to the quarterfinals a couple of years ago. And perhaps that's Solskjaer's challenge still, is still moulding them as a group of players to actually getting them competing for trophies. And you did sense that sort of tension a bit last night. He did reference the boos after the game when he said the crowd should be never stop believing in the players. And he said they should know better than that. And you shouldn't really start turning on the fans, because they have been very supportive of him, even through these sort of moments of difficulties.
And they're comparing him to his predecessors, right? We're seeing Solskjaer's record compared to Mourinho and Van Gaal, and the club hierarchy want to see improvement, right?
Well, exactly. It's been, what, $500 million almost of spending he's benefited from. It can't be denied that he's had the investment. And certainly if you're sort of looking at where they are in the Premier League now, down in sixth place, they're out of the League Cup already. It's not really a trophy that United would really rank highly in the priority list. But when you've not won any silverware since the Europa League in 2017 under Mourinho, then, well, it starts to be really sort of glaring. It's the longest trophy drought since the 80s, and a really diminishing sense of status for United. And, it's a demanding fixture list coming up. They've got Tottenham and Manchester City ahead, and the next assignment, small matter, the visit of Liverpool at Old Trafford on Sunday.
Well, tell us more about that, because we know what a great rivalry it is in English football. And considering that United haven't beaten Liverpool in the Premier League since 2018, I think it is, how big is that match on Sunday now?
Oh, it's very significant for United and for Solskjaer. Though Solskjaer, never seems to have a run that's so bad it reaches breaking point. He always manages to sort of pull things out the bag, and the win over Atalanta does that to some degree. What we'll bring into sharp focus on Sunday is a reminder of just what happened in May at Old Trafford. I was there outside Old Trafford when it descended into absolute scenes of violence, disorder, and unprecedented announcements of the postponement of the game when United played Liverpool. They had to reschedule it a couple of weeks later, eventually Liverpool winning 4-2, if I recall. And, we saw some of those green and gold protest scarves re-emerging at Old Trafford last night. They often are brought out by the fans when they start to see results going against them. But the ownership has spent. The fans will still say they're not spending their own money. It's money, they're drawing money out of the club. But Liverpool are in sparkling form at the moment. Mohamed Salah doing so well. Those brilliant moments of individual genius, scoring now in so many games continuously, that he's really delivering. And Liverpool just 1 point off the top, unbeaten. It'll be a real test of United's credentials at the time they're coming off that setback, losing to Leicester last weekend.
Much more than second v sixth in the table, isn't it? Rob Harris, as always, appreciate your analysis, Rob. Thanks.